People just want to, throw their name in the hat, but they don't know how to run no election.
And he's a good mayor. I'm here on ground zero watching it. He's making it do what it do. Like he's gonna go down as one of the better mayors of it. Like crime alone has went down. Nothing against prior administrations. I love them all. I've worked. I'm a former city of Atlanta employee. That's what my pension is. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that the crime rate was ridiculous, like crazy. And soon as Andre got in, he mobilized, did what he had to do. The crime rate, I'm talking about people cars getting broken into. My sister car got broken into in Atlanta. Like, everybody, all you heard were those stories. And Mayor Dickens got an office and he did what he had to do. And plus he brought a lot of good things to Atlanta. There's no reason for nobody. Like he is doing what he's supposed to do. Then of course you got former mayor Lance Bottoms running for governor.
Who?
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Let me not get started. We have Hassan Piker showing up at the Mamdani. Looks like celebration. Let's see what Hassan Piker has to say now. If he's a famous streamer, political talker. I believe he's anti-Israel, anti a lot of fascism and all the rest of the stuff, but that's Hassan. But let's see what Hassan Piker has to say.
It's impossible not to feel a sense of hope for a better tomorrow for the first time in a long time, especially with the way things are going with the Trump administration. I do hope that New Yorkers do the right thing and they voted for Zoran Mamdani for an affordability campaign, for a New York that people can't afford to live in.
Well, Mamdani said his piece.
Just keep in mind, Hassan Piker, he's a social media online influencer. He has a channel with a large following, and this kind of has to do with the way that the Mamdani campaign has been reaching out to those on social media and trying to expand their base, not just in New York City, but then also the attraction to outside of the 5 boroughs. It's interesting to see how people in Los Angeles or even across in Europe are engaging with Mamdani's messaging as well as the campaign. Errol?
Yeah, Bernadette, that's been a phenomenon. I know some of you have mentioned from out in the field that there's a lot of international press that are showing up to a local election, which is a little unusual even for New York. What are you seeing there?
Right. Well, I mean, over the past couple of weeks, Mamdani's been taking questions from those from Germany, from London, from France. And of course, as a local reporter, I'm always thinking to myself,
Canada saying they support
he's running
Mamdani.
for
That's
New York
what's up,
City
man.
mayor. He should be answering New York City questions. But take that with a grain of salt. What these reporters are trying to find out is if what's happening in the U.S. will have any influence over other big cities across the world, and especially other big cities like London, for example, or Paris, where, democratic socialism is more of a norm, as opposed to here in New York, where it's the center of capitalism. So, the questions often have to do with affordability, how he would achieve that, and if he thinks that message is something that's transferable on a broader scale, Errol.
Okay, thanks very much, Bernadette. We'll be checking in with you later. Let's check in now with our Dan Rivoli. He's standing by at the campaign party for Curtis Sliwa on the Upper West Side. Good evening, Dan.
Hey, good evening, Errol. So the polls closed, the votes are coming in. Sliwa, so far in a distant third. That has not dampened the mood too much here. I think a lot of the Sliwa supporters are genuinely proud of the campaign he ran, hitting the streets, the subways, the buses, and talking to voters and running a vigorous campaign and defying the odds from billionaires, conservative influencers, even President Trump trying to get him out of the race, and even that last-minute endorsement to Cuomo and saying that a vote for Curtis Sliwa was a vote for Zoran Mamdani. He persevered through it all, and I think there's a lot of pride from Sliwa supporters on that. Of course, one of the big stories of the Sliwa campaign was whether he was able to retain Republican support. There are a few Republican officials who ended up backing Cuomo, a few stuck with Sliwa, and even tonight, the campaign told me they were expecting a GOP.
You know what you gotta hate right now? Is I'm watching the Cuomo thing live, right? So imagine you're sitting at Cuomo's watch party and you're watching the news. The same news is broadcast through the whole city. And you're like, damn, we losing. And they criticizing you for the shit. And you gotta hear that. You gotta hear it from your people and be like, damn, if I just get 10 more precincts to show up different, it's not gonna happen. It doesn't really work that way. One thing I'm gonna switch over to, cause it's gonna be a long night with Mamdani in the news. But there's ABC special report, whatever, 5 minutes ago that dropped regarding Mamdani's win is a gift for Republicans from a GOP strategist. Let's see what he has to say about it. I don't see it as a gift, but it's early vibes.
Matt Gorman, Communications Director for the National Republican Congressional Committee.